Alright, now let's see if it switches over to catch YouTube. And make sure it all goes live. Let's go ahead and get this posted up on X. Or Twitter X, I like to call it. And here we are live finally on YouTube. Apparently our subscription had ended, and now we are back to it. Alright, so welcome everyone. This is something a little bit unique. If you remember from way back in the day, I used to say I actually grew up on the PlayStation version of Doom. And finally, we have a version of it added to the Bethesda mod shop. This is Console Doom Ultra, which is essentially the PlayStation 1996 version. It's the best compilation of it I've seen so far that actually does have the unique maps that only made it into the console version, as well as the correct map order. So, let's go ahead and get this one started. Now, there's a lot of things you'll notice right away are quite a bit different. And you'll see it right off the bat in E1M1. Entire sections of the map that are gone. Music that mixes between a version of the rock tracks as well as the Aubrey Hopkins tracks as well. So this is the best look I can give you of the original 1996 PlayStation version without hooking one up and getting a capture card. So as you saw right off the bat, that first secret doesn't actually exist in the console version, where you hit the switch over here to open the wall section. No, it only actually opens near the end of the level. And again, this is the Doom that I grew up on, so this is the way I've always known it to be. So let's go ahead. Just like always, they do like to spread the items out all over the place on here. Let's do it. Now and you can see it also stands out quite a bit more in the PlayStation version. But it's still the same items. You're not getting anything unique. Also, that wall doesn't open, as you see. But everything else pretty much works the same way, at least for this first little bit. Like I said, you'll notice little changes about each one of the levels, especially the further we get into it, because Inferno looks nothing like what you see on computer. It even has a completely different first map. Now we can go back. Now the imps are down. This is pretty much the same, although that imp came inside. And finally, the last one, the line def trick, that one's still there. And that'll be all item, or secrets. Now, were we lucky enough to get all the random health and armor bonuses along the way? We'll find out right here. Yep, got it. Okay. And you also notice the completely different background, too. On to what is literally just called plant. It wasn't even called nuclear plant back then, so it could just be any plant. Also, again, the secret stands out much more. And now we're getting more of those Aubrey Hopkins tracks creeping back in. This area a little bit tighter in the console version than the PC. And you'll also notice the persistent use of much fewer texture varieties. Also, this entire area opens up in the back for the security armor. And that imp actually, I don't think can come down. I think he's actually stuck up here. into the unknown. Over on this side, this area's pretty much remained the same for the most part. I think the switch actually is different. I think it's a button switch on the computer version. As you see, we have all the same texture in here, making the maze a little bit easier to see in. And to me, I think it looks a lot more techie based. The lighting a lot creepier in this version. Just shoot the wall there, same as before. This is still Secret 3, that's still Secret 4. That has not changed. This area a little bit smaller. And notice also the different rendering size of the skybox. That's why it always felt like it was so much larger in the PlayStation version. Like you're really deep in the mountains. Alright, back into the creepy maze. I think the creepiest thing about this maze is not being able to find all the items. And barrel our friend, absolutely. Let's keep it moving. Out of here, zombie. All of you. I don't even know how many there are of you in the PlayStation version. It's been too long. Alright, and you notice some of the secrets just become much more obvious in the PlayStation version. Also love that I triggered it before I even went inside. Alright, this area should be good. And then we can proceed back out and up. Now, for the most part, the enemies are still roughly in the same positions. This secret's actually hidden a little bit better, I think, since they actually use the same texture now. This room, pretty much nothing's changed about. And this one, for most parts, the same. However, there is a little difference at the end here. Notice there's no lift. Yes, in the end of this map, there is no dip. You just go straight to the exit. And we would, but apparently something is still alive. And luckily, I can hear it creaking. At least I heard it creaking back here. Where'd it go? Did it magically get lost outside? Wait, what in the world? Why am I hearing an imp out here? Hold on a second. Did it get rendered outside the map? No. That's weird. And that's still the exit. That's very bizarre. It's almost like he was like underground or something. Alright. On to literally the bane of my existence. And you can immediately notice the more steampunk design of the PlayStation version of this. And yes, the pit is still inescapable even on PlayStation. And to be honest, I always loved the PlayStation version of this one a lot more. I think it should be more metal warehousey. Alright, now that that mess is taken care of, let's head up, let's get some stuff. Back to the middle. And for some reason, I feel like this ambush is a little bit more intense in the console version. Because I think a lot of these enemies hide in the back, typically. The pinkies. There's our yellow key. Let's go ahead, get our lift. It actually goes right there this time. You don't have to go all the way down the staircase. And you all very well hidden in the dark. Notice it's actually almost hard to see in this version. In some of these secret areas. And then we get our other one here. This actually looks more like an actual refinery. Also, like we mentioned, the secrets being much easier to notice in the console version. Go ahead, get our chain gun, and let's head up. And now let's do some sniping. Okay. On to probably my least favorite part of the map. But it is a bit different. Notice we're missing a little bit something in the console version. The whole thing's flat. So there is no hole in the middle, nothing you have to worry about there this time around. Go ahead and take out all this. And let's go get our key in the very first famous instance of a monster closet. But this time the lights don't go out. They literally let you see it. And back, our sniping imp is still there. All the secrets are still as they normally are. Let's go ahead and get to some of them. You can already see our lift is back up. There's our armor bonus hiding there. And we'll run it out both ways, not just for items, but so we can see the differences between PlayStation and the computer. Again, I love the steampunk aesthetics of the original. It was so much... It just made so much more sense, I think, than the computer version of this one. You also notice it doesn't have all this stuff in the middle that's blocking your path. It's much more open. Stairs still take a long time to raise. And that should be most of our items right there. All but 10. And this actually opens itself on the way out. Let's go ahead, take out the imp, get in our top secret yellow door, and notice the enemies are actually at our level. And they're not shotgun soldiers and a random assortment, it's all imps. So it actually makes more sense this time giving you the power-ups. This time around, we've already cleared everything pretty much out of here. Go ahead, splash what we can. I actually forgot that there's a pinky that pops up behind you. He came from over here. And then as for us, there's still more items back here. All you have to do is just touch this for it to count as a secret. But we can take it up. And one item missing isn't that always how it goes. Especially when you're dealing with health and armor bonuses, it's pretty much just a given that there's going to be just one random one floating around somewhere. And we're not going to lose our lunch over it because we are more interested in showing off the PlayStation version. So for now, good enough for us. On to military base, which is going to look a lot different, just to warn you. And you have barrels. Yes, this was never anywhere near as difficult as it was on the computer. Go ahead, get our chain gun, get our items, back up. Whoa there, forgot about the specters. That's okay. Alright, take out our imp welcome crew, as well as any that want to join us, and you all. This time I can see you. Man, forgot how well they blend in with this lighting. This is when specters were actually dangerous. Now, I think the only thing the Kex port has not actually incorporated from the original console version is the Nightmare specters. And that was a thing on the original console version. They were the darker green looking specters that eventually Eternity made its own enemy as the Nightmare demons, but they did take considerably more shots to take out. Now we got our bearings back. Go ahead, take all that out. You also notice the fence is not in front of the key, so you can just go straight into it. And this is still here. But it actually opens the closet. They don't teleport in, so that you can actually go up here and blast everything. Making this map so much more fun, I think. There's also a Berserkheim back here, and yes, you did see that right. We do have red crosses back in the console version. Go ahead and take care of this. Red key. All of this, thank you. Don't come again. We are getting the goods. And right across over to the red. Alright, go ahead and clear our way over here, and here come the Pinky Parade. At least this way they're all funneling one direction. And this final room with the blue key card you'll see is considerably different as well. The secret is pretty much invisible in the console version. It's nowhere near as obvious as it is in the PC. So let's see, blue key at. There's literally no indicator that there's even one here. But don't worry, it's still in the same location. And you really get no indicator on the map either. But there it is. Good enough for me. Alright, so down in the pit. Over around the corner. Hello, you're a bit close. And you all can just wander on out. Alright. Now the only bad thing about the imp up here is he can always claw you because of infinite height. But, just like that, we are done here. Thank you. Goodbye. Alright, on to command control, one of my favorites for Knee Deep in the Dead. Alright, so, secret's still in the same location. Same enemies, but I think this is quite cozy with the old texturing. And again, just use the secret of the barrels to clear the way. As the Pinky just comes on out. Don't even give us a chance to get back there. Alright, so this is pretty much the same. There's really no difference here. Same enemies, same placement. Although the Pinky's so much more aggressive in the console version. Alright, so this area is pretty much the same. However, this lift, you can actually raise and lower. Like a normal lift, so you can't get locked out of the secret like you can on PC. Alright everyone, let's get ready for the most casual ambush to ever exist. You ready? One rocket. Ta-da! Except again, the Pinky's so much more aggressive. Well, sometimes we hit the barrel. Get the goods. I think you have to hit wherever the... Oh yeah, there's an actual switch here. Alright. This marks the spot. Shotgun soldiers, like shooting fish in a barrel. Now over here, to everyone's favorite maze, which is no longer green. Yes, this was the much more prevailing texture of the console version. This brown was pretty much used everywhere. And just look at the aggressive Pinkies. It is absolutely astounding. And also, as you can see, the maze layout changed a little bit. You actually have bigger areas you can run around back here and get completely lost in. Make sure we got all the nooks and crannies, all solid lines, all good. There we go. Alright, imps out. And now we're free. There's our yellow key. There's a barrel. Our stairs back to the other room. And again, we are showcasing all of this. For some reason, that switch animation doesn't work on the Kex port. Now, normally that's how you end, but there's also this famous room that is still tech-based looking. And it still comes down when you don't want it to. But you notice something a little bit different. It is actually a version of the swastika, but a little bit different. Just a little bit. Enough to not make it obvious. And now this one is pretty much done. Boom. And probably my favorite map of Knee Deep in the Dead. Here we go, it is much brighter. And yes, those enemies get so intrusive from the other room in this version. They usually end up clearing out before I even get a chance to get over there to them. As you can see here, they're already trying to come through here. Where usually they'll just wait until you get to them. Not so back then. Alright, got them taken care of. Keep going, keep going. Back in our pit, and notice how well hidden these secrets actually are in the console version. The wall textures are not misaligned, they're not different colors, they're legitimately hard to tell. And yes, there actually is music here. The thing is, that's what it was with these creepy tracks, which I just love. I think it gives it such a different identity. Ramp it up a little bit here. That's what I was saying. I was so unused to it when I finally played the computer version, and it had all these rock tracks to it. I'm like, that's not Doom for me. I always knew it as this much creepier first-person shooter. And yes, you can see it there, the red crosses on the May kits. This is, of course, before they had the actual issue with the American Red Cross, and was made to change it to green. Definitely the iconic look. All of this is pretty much the same. And this is the only side worth caring about, mainly because of the Mega Armor. Back up. Take our lift. Hey, buddy. Thank you. Now we'll go this way for another secret. There's our stars still in place. As well as the blue key section, which actually acts as the final secret. Alright, now we got all goodies, let's go ahead, keep things moving into the Tunnel of Chaos. That is still just as chaotic, but quite easier to see in this time around. So what do you think the blackout room's gonna look like? If you guessed even harder to see in, you're right. Luckily, we know where the light visors are. But wait, you don't get them in the console version. Sorry for your luck. So, in the original console version, you basically had to do this one legitimately. You had no free pass with the light amplification visor. And this is what we have to deal with. Which made this level so much more difficult. As you can see, the specters are pretty much invisible. And all those barrels just make this area hazardous. Now the blue section, because we got the computer area map, we can tell it's right here. That's the final secret. And that's all items, all secrets, all kills. Nope. Now all kills. Because there's 3 in the exit, same as always. Just splash them in there. Done. Central processing. boy, is this one different. For one, the key's right there. Yeah. Like I said, quite a few things change when it comes to the console version. Alright, if the distractions are done distracting us, we can see that this is literally just a monster closet, nothing more. That is still in there with the exploding barrels. And now we can go this way. All this is pretty much the same. Maybe a few differences. Just a few. We still have the pop-up imps and Pinky behind us. And we still have the suit hidden in the corner back here. So we can go ahead to the end, get the supercharge. And then head back here to get the Mega Armor. So that essentially gives us a Mega Sphere. You also notice the items we get are considerably worse than what you get in the PC version. And Pinkies everywhere in this area. Well, do you know what you're going to say to him in the morning? That's the real question. Again, deal with the Pinkies. Luckily, we got him stuck on the lift. There we go. Back over here. This area looks about the same. We've still got the maze. The maze is a little bit different. As you notice, it's a little bit shorter. And we know what's going to happen if we get too far up here. There, we heard it. Go ahead just so we can get the Spectre out of there. Well, I've not exactly been looking at my phone as I'm doing this. It's easier when writing in the chat since I have it pulled up. And actually, yes, the door is still there to get back. We're probably gonna blow ourselves up doing this. Almost. And again, we've got the Pinkies stuck on each other like usual. Imps literally everywhere over there. So you send them an email, so what's to actually end up happening? Are you just telling them no, or are you gonna delay it a few weeks? See, this is what happens when I look at the phone trying to do this. Alright, keep it going here. Let's see, also addressing him by phone too, so it doesn't look as bad. I've got it. Because we still don't know what the other job is going to do yet. They're just waiting on paperwork to be turned into them. But I'm not so sure they're going to wait forever, so might need to give them some sort of message. Go ahead and get the Pinky and Imp out here. Maybe. Got it. This one also has the rad suit hiding in the back. And this room is literally the same, no changes. But again, notice how much larger the skybox feels. Just always makes you feel like you're literally fighting around, lost in the mountains. Love it. Everything's just kind of clogged up in the middle here. Now, you will notice a considerable difference by the end of Knee Deep in the Dead from what we are used to happening. Again, just take these guys out. This is level 6 because they did not call them maps in the PlayStation version, they just called them levels. Now, this area is still as ridiculous as ever, but as long as you know where the monster closets are, which luckily the map actually shows you quite well where they're at, you can plan ahead for them and actually trigger them before you get in there. Before we even hit the switch to unleash the last of the specters. And all the ones in the exit. Just like that, that should be good. And we are done here. Boom. Oh, the computer station. I'm talking about the one in Johnstown. Because that one's supposed to be the one waiting on paperwork. And yes, this map used to be terrifying in the original. And now you kind of get to see it between the crazy MIDI for this one. This one literally felt like a penultimate map. It always did. Also love the strobe effects they use in this one. Pretty much the same so far. All the enemies outside, blowing your face off, all pretty much the same. The ones that you can't see that can hit you over the railing. Well, have rockets, will fire. Alright, this area is good. On we go. Now the top of here is going to look a little different, if I remember. Yes, it's much more open on top. And you notice they also don't have the ledges to snipe you from down below. So you actually can't get hit from them up there. Alright, snipers are dealt with, imps are dealt with, let's keep it moving. Well, I agree with you there. I mean, it's definitely making us sick the longer this drags on. Go ahead and throw them a few rockets of love. Especially them. And the crew of 2. Yes, only 2 this time. Over here. Over here for a computer area map. Drop it again. One more time. This time to our suit. Go ahead and take care of all this stuff. Hit our other switch. Back here still has the mega armor. And supercharge. Boom. A whole string of secrets that just made this map 10,000 times easier. This area is much more wide open. We already firebombed all these guys. Go Go ahead and firebomb the enemies in the key room down there. And up ahead, we can actually do some sniping on what's coming up. And up we go. Okay, now we've got the red key card, yellow key card, all of our monster closets are now starting to open. Just put a stop to that before it does anything. And for once, let's not forget this room, because we always forget to go in here. And there's one reason this room matters, mainly for the items. Because we're going to see a major difference in the next map that comes up, which is typically the finale of Knee Deep in the Dead, Phobos Anomaly. And any chance we can take out a group, let them have it. Alright, now we have the final key. Let's go ahead, put an end to all the monster closet shenanigans before they can even get out of there. And these guys get out so fast you can't even get back to the door before he gets to blocking you in. Again, the secret much easier to notice in the console version. Also notice it's a supercharge out here, not a blur sphere. Meaning you can still get lit up by all the shotgun soldiers near the exit. But you also can't firebomb the exit room. Alright, now that's taken care of, misalignments to get back. One more area to clear out. Let's go. All to open that big door. Everything's on our level, right in our face. Run around here, easier to see. That opens the room we just firebombed.
Cheap viewers on streamboo.com, remove the space at 5GIO3.
Absolutely. And that brings us on to Phobos Anomaly, which is normally the finale of Knee Deep in the Dead, but again, this is the console version. So there is no episodes. This is just level 8. Here we go. Notice how nothing about this looks the same. And that's not even a supercharge, it's a mega armor. And it's also because in the console version you couldn't pistol start these maps. So it was not designed with the intention of pistol starting. Go ahead and get the specters out of here just to make this more of a fair fight. Go ahead and get us some ammo. More ammo. And more ammo. Yes, you don't have all these fancy power-ups to work with. And you actually have to trigger the Barons. So here we go. Which I think is much more ingenious to have you trigger them, because that way they have a preemptive chance to nail you in the face. This way it feels much more like a boss fight, I think. Just stay close, just keep moving, just keep poking till the barrens fall apart. And you'll notice here in the middle is actually the supercharge, because they connect in this version, and only the back wall falls out. Up we go, and done. Yes, because you'll notice we do not lose our equipment. Because again, this is not episodic. This is actually the full game. So it just keeps going. This is actually map 9. So there's our blue key. And you'll notice as we get further into it, entire levels are going to start changing. So we're going to have maps that weren't in the computer version at all, that were only exclusive to console, the further we get into this. That's why I had no idea what the episodes even were growing up on console version, because we never had them. There's the red key. Let's go finally meet our first tomato of the series. And again, the Pinky's so much more aggressive in the console version. There's our tomato. Nice to see you again, buddy. It's been a while. We've been dealing with the gutter brains instead. Well, you know, if you're just gonna stand there, just saying. Go ahead and take care of all this. Thank you. Over the fire, so it actually makes sense why it damages us. Your area map for items, all this good stuff. Let's go. Notice there's a bit of a change here at the end too. Go ahead and take these two out, as we're actually walking over the remains of the fallen wall here, as we head to literally my favorite map of the original classic Doom. And it's actually because of this reason, because this is the version of it I grew up on. Crate maze is much easier to manage, I think, in this one. Up and over. See how much shorter it is? Alright, now that's taken care of. Go ahead and get all of our goodies. Get our yellow key card as we activate the Plutonia secrets area. Switch all the doors open. Let's take them out. Get our rocket launcher. And again, each one of these count as secrets, same as before. Just go in each room. Also, first appearance of the Lost Soul in the game. As we continue on through the much easier to navigate maze. Because that's literally all there is to it in the console version. Alright, decisions. Let's go to the right first this time. That way we can just go straight for the Mega Armor. In here. And let's keep in mind what some of the new changes are. Notice this room looks a bit different. Much larger. And you can actually see the plasma rifle up there. So it gives you a reason to actually explore it. There's the exits. Still need the red card for it. Go ahead and get the blue key. And if I remember, how does this thing... I can never remember how this thing works. There it is. For that secret, I think you actually have to, like, skirt along that wall backwards or something. It's some really weird line def you have to hit for it. Actually, Pinky's guarding the red key this time. And notice there's no passage at all that way. And that's because this entire computer section's missing. This area, you notice, is much more condensed. Much shorter. And you'll notice that with a lot of levels, not just the Shores of Hell ones. Especially as we get into Inferno. Onto the Refinery. Word of warning, as we can see, the tomatoes are no longer bound like they normally are. So this area we can actually go into, whereas this area pretty much stayed the same. With a few little differences here and there. Like we can still deck the pinkies and the schnoz. And the tomatoes, for the heck of it. Notice the tomato got a few friends with him back there this time. And still the chain gun in the back. All that pretty much stayed the same. Let's continue on, get the rad suit. We can also pretty much snipe everything out of the exit area. Okay. Now, this way, notice this area is entirely open. And this area doesn't have all the kooky lifts. They had to simplify some of the things for the console. This area, again, much more obvious with the secret. And, yes, you saw that right. You actually do get the BFG in this level. So this is actually the earliest that you can get the BFG, which would be level 11 of the original PlayStation Doom. Go ahead and take the pinkies out. Yes, the gutter brains Absolutely had to be reminded of that. To all the people that think the Lost Souls made their debut in Slough of Despair. There you go, there's 2 different levels they've been in now. And notice how much more aggressive the enemies are here. Can't even get out of the way of the Baron. Go ahead, grab our key, and let's keep it moving. Back out this way. Into here. As we get ourselves ready for the maze. If we can ever get past all the random hit scares. Also, no blur sphere back here. So we have to do a maze legitimately. Once we're out of there, go ahead to the right. We can still get our rad suit. Grab here. Which we can use for Spectre in the back. Who is guarding Supercharge. And not much else really. Notice all these obstacles are out of the way in the PlayStation version. And Tomato being quite aggressive with us today. Stop that. We are moving on. Boom. This is my favorite map of the Shores of Hell, but again, there are no episodes now to worry about. Let's keep it moving. And this area, this entire map is going to look entirely different from what you're used to. This is where you really start noticing the differences between console and PlayStation. We actually have a switch this time to bring everything down. Now that the Pinky's out of the way, Lost Souls are out of the way, let's keep it moving. Get our ammo back, basically. And back down. As the Welcome Committee has made their way all the way over to us. Well, fine, don't let us in. Not until we trigger the trap. Start the machine! But did you notice something? Didn't notice it yet? How about now? Yep, no crusher. Not in the console version. Go ahead and get our armor. Let's get our chain gun and keep it going. The Baron giving us the warning of what's ahead. Always considered this a little bit of a mini boss fight. It's kind of like, hey, you're afraid of me last episode. Back up top, get our key, lower this. And again, notice, no crushers. Alright, now with the Lost Souls out of the way, let's go ahead and get the goods. Let's get the Berserk. Now, let's go ahead and trigger this trap. Right there. Now this one's open. Just start firebombing everything. We are not laying anything off the hook back here. All pinkies must go. 99 cents or your money back. Alright, health bonuses. We've got environment suit, supercharge. Pretty much this area is mostly the same. But not to be said about the area coming up. Now, if they're out here, you still have the Cacodemon that you can see a mile away before you ever get to them. And now, in here, what happened to the Crusher? Well, that's because it's not one. Instead, we get this room with the switch, and we actually do have to face the Baron. So unfortunately, we can't use the Speed Crusher against them. Making this level a little bit harder. And this still wraps around like normal. Still have the hole you can drop into for the plasma rifle. And notice we also didn't have to climb down a big series of spiral stairs. We can just go at it like this. And the tomatoes are absolutely everywhere down here. But then again, so are the Barons. Always let them in, fight it out. We'll go this way, jump in the pit, hit the switch, go out, go back. Just like that. Exit, go back. Supercharge, good enough for us. Boom. Bring us to Command Center. And this is about the only thing that's going to look the same in Command Center. Also notice we're back to the creepy tracks again. Yes, I am. No worries about that. As we make our way down here, go ahead. This entire region is completely different because there's no pit to fall into on the right side. They just took out all the fluff that we didn't need. there's our barons that just kind of ride down the lift. Go ahead and take out all these enemies. The imps. And again, the secret's so much easier to notice in the console version. Let's go ahead and take care of the lost souls. Get them out of here. As we make our way to the back rooms, up the lift. Listen for the sound. There it is. And this area is still pretty much the same. Go ahead and get the rad suit. And let's keep going. Up top. Our bazillion hit scanners here. Baron we can take pot shots at. And again, you notice how completely different the layout is of this map compared to how it normally is. Because normally those two rooms don't connect. Good, firebomb the pinkies, we can get them angry at the tomatoes, it doesn't bother us because we are out. And on to probably everyone's most famous map of Shores of Hell, which again is not a thing in the original. This is literally just considered map 15, or level 15. This one went under a major facelift between the original. Go ahead, hit the switch, head back. Notice you can't get behind the opening area anymore. And this area actually feels quite a bit taller. Also, we can go back here for a chainsaw. Over this way, hit a switch. Up ahead. Let's go ahead and get ourselves the Berserk. We'll leave it here for safekeeping when we need some health. Notice the blur sphere's not back here. And this area, quite a bit more open. Nowhere near as cramped and congested as it normally is. And we heard the monster closet's open, that means the Baron is released. Get the backpack. Go ahead and take out all the pinkies that are hiding in the back. The cacodemon that just randomly pops into existence. Alright, so now the Baron showed up. Go ahead and firebomb him out of here. We'll go ahead and get the items from where he was. Take out the pinkies. And here's the area we care about in the back. Notice we're back outside. No longer in a cramped room. The But those specters are still pretty much impossible to see. I'm telling you, on the console version, the specters are so deadly. Because you literally cannot see them coming. Go ahead and get rid of all the lost souls. Clear this area out. Head to the back. We can get the red key. The imp is still here. And the welcome crew is still here to a lesser degree. Not as severe as it usually is. And notice, all the closets back here don't open like they normally do. You don't have the one with the rocket launcher and the blur sphere. So let's keep going. Yellow key time. This area gives you a bit of room to move around, so it gives the enemies more of a chance to hit you. Also, you don't have to open that passage, it's all automatically open. But notice how much harder it makes this area when they're not confined in close quarters. Go ahead and grab the Berserk, get our health back up. Now this way. Notice how much simpler getting the yellow key is here. That's why I never knew the Halls of the Damned to be this big, intricate map like it normally is on the PC version. But this area is a good area to resupply in. All the shotgun shells, rockets, all good. Now we have all the keys we need to head out of here. Notice there's not a second one that ambushes you near the front either. Just like that, this one's in the bag. Now this doesn't look right at all, does it? Spawning Vats literally doesn't even resemble itself as you know it, because it was majorly changed from the console version to the PC. Go ahead and let them in fight. You had to get in the way. You had to do it, Baron. We wanted to try and give you a chance here. Apparently you didn't want to take it. Okay, enough of that, Imp. Let's go ahead and take care of that. The outdoor area is literally open and quite bright. So you don't have to squint to see what you're doing like normal. Also back here, chainsaw, ammo, everything good. Imps sniping from the corners. And over here, notice this entire area is block, which actually makes more sense, I think. this area never felt like actual spawning vats to me. And I think this area captures it just so much better. Go ahead and take out our welcome crew here. So now, real question is, how are we going to get to the yellow key card? Notice this area quite a bit different looking from what it normally is. Heading back this way, we've got this area that looks like a lift, but doesn't seem to go anywhere. Instead, we're heading this way. Chain gun on top. And now we have a lift down here we can take. There's the yellow key card. Spits us out right at the yellow door. And this entire area is completely different. Now we have imps with barrels. Here's the red key. Completely out in the open this time. Go ahead, hit the switch, get the key. And now that we have the red key card, we can go ahead and use that way back here. But not just here. Not just for the exit area. We want to go ahead and head back to the Vats. Let's see if I remember how to do this on PlayStation. One of these, I'm not remembering which one. Let's see here. There's just the rocket launcher, I just give it to you. But there it is. Okay. Yeah, there's no obvious sign of where it is to hit the teleporter. But once you get there, go ahead and hit this, get the mega armor. Go ahead and teleport back out. And somewhere, there's another area that opens that actually lets you out to this secret area. Now this one I probably am to have to look up because it has been way too long since I've done this on console. Because I do want to showcase the secret exit that they give you on the new spawning vats. So 1 second here as I pull this up. Spawning vats. Because it has to do with that red key room. Here it is. And it takes you to the secret exit. Alright. After getting the keycard fall, got above the X area. Turn right and left again. You'll enter room with our square surfaces. Yep. Gargoyle Mega Armor requires the red keys. You walk. Okay, so we actually passed it already. As you walk up to the gargoyle, you hear another door opening nearby. Use the teleport here to return to the previous room. Turn around, you'll see a skull switch in the alcove to your left. Okay. Now, health-wise, we might get in trouble here because it is damaging floor that we're dealing with. But let's get our bearings straight here again. We want the nukage pools. So let's see, this is going to take us where the yellow key is, which will take us back out where the red is over here. Like I said, the layout changing completely throws my equilibrium off here. Okay, so here's the red key sections, here's our nukage pools. And again, one of these is the one that teleports us. This one. And so we have to go out of here. And one of the alcoves is supposed to get a switch. And this is probably why I never got it on console version. I'm wondering if they were able to translate it to Kex. Because it doesn't even seem like there's a place for it. Let's check setting our map here, because I think this is... that's the normal exit. Let's check if it even exists. Because that gray spot down there is the normal exit. But it doesn't... I don't think they brought it over when they created this version of PlayStation Doom. Because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be in this one. But that's okay. Basically, where it takes you to is it takes you to a Fortress of Mystery, if you take it. Now notice the Tower of Babel is not the Tower of Babel anymore. That's because this is entirely different. This is actually a map that was console exclusive called Hell's Gate. This is actually technically the start of Inferno. And this will be the only one I tease before we get too much further into this. Good, take the Baron out, just hit the barrels back by the imps, there we go. Get him in fighting the imps too to help us out with ammo. Alright, all good there, all good with the imps. Now we can go ahead and do all the switch shenanigans. So we have that switch, which does this door. With this switch, which does that door, and that one's the exit. And that leads us on to Hell Keep. And at this point, we're actually in the second map of Inferno. And for now, I will go ahead and leave it here. We can pick up on this one tomorrow. So again, thanks for joining everyone on our trip through PlayStation Doom. We are now on level 18, and we'll pick up on this tomorrow night as we work our way through the entire series. So again, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe so more people can see these amazing classics. We'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone.